My people, breaking news. Safaricom inauzwa and it's turning out Wakenya watapoteza pesa zao mingi sana. Just for your concept, Safaricom is a private company. It's a parastatal whereby Kenya is one of the biggest shareholder kwa hii Safaricom na wanataka kuuza hizo shares zote. So that is the reason I'm telling you, kama uko na any amount kwa M-Pesa, just go for that cash. Withdraw ukue nayo kwa mkono. But kuna kitu niko curious nayo kidogo. Kuna watu wako Gulf wamefungua banks waka connect with their Safaricom line. If you have any idea about that, just drop it at the comment section. Kenya hata sijui niseme nini. Me, I can just refer this to the set book I read when I was in Form 4, Mstahiki Mayor, whereby Mayor went out na akauza fimbo ya cheneo. Unajua kuna watu wenye walikuwa wanategemea Safaricom line because of M-Pesa, and it's turning out it's just becoming useless. Oh my goodness. Hopefully pesa zenu zitakuwa secured na zitakuwa safe. Kuna watu wamepoteza pesa mingi sana through this particular M-Pesa, M-Shwari, whichever. Make sure this time round you are safe. Aluta.
Habari ndio hii. The government of Kenya is selling 15% of its shareholding pale Safaricom PLC to a South African company called Vodacom for a staggering 245 billion Kenya shillings ili waweze kusaidia budget. But Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro amesema kama sio 2.5 trillion kama valuation sio 2.5 trillion kuna vile tunachezwa. But sasa nakumbuka pia Ndindi Nyoro akisema akona issue na Kenya Pipelines kupelekwa initial public offer. Alisema pia hapo tunachezwa. Na zingine nyingi aliongea kuhusu Talanta, nafikiri Talanta Stadium or something. Ati kwamba it will be the most expensive stadium in the world. Swali langu ni kwa Ndindi Nyoro. Yani wewe Ndindi Nyoro, hauoni tunatafuta fare ya kwenda Singapore? In the next few years. Sisi tunataka kuhama Kenya. We will be selling everything.
The government is underselling Safaricom, and it is to the detriment of all Kenyans. The bigger concern that I have, and we must have as Kenyans, is the fact that the government of Kenya is proposing to sell Safaricom PLC, the 15% stake, at 34 shillings. Kenyans need to know that Safaricom shares were trading at an average of 45 shillings in 2021. Valuing Safaricom PLC at 1.8 trillion Kenya shillings in 2021. And of course that is before Safaricom even invested in Ethiopia, an investment that is actually becoming a very good decision for Safaricom. And what I just want to say is that the people who are on the other side of the table in this negotiation of the sale, and especially the people from the National Treasury, they are either self-interested, incompetent, or both. Because there is no way you can sell a stake of a company as a block with no premium. The biggest concern that we must have as Kenyans is the valuation at which the government is proposing to exit 15% stake in Safaricom. Because they want to sell per share at 34 shillings. And if you look at the recent past, including last week, Safaricom share touched even 30, past 30 last week. But in the last 5 years, and especially in 2021, Safaricom share was above 45 shillings in August of 2021. And when you are valuing on how to buy or sell a company, you as the seller must get the best deal in terms of the price. But it looks like the people who are representing the people of Kenya in government, in this discussion and sale, they actually sided with the buyers. And they decided to sell Safaricom for a song.
Kama mtu anieleza na kizungu kidogo yenye Sudi anaweza understand, yenye Faruka anaweza understand, sio kizungu mingi. Why this Kenya Kwisha government wanataka kuuza kila kitu, wanakuuza kuuza. Where are these in a hurry ya kuuza vitu zenye walipata zimenunuliwa na previous people, previous governments, wanataka kuziuza. Previous taxpayers ndio walikata kwa taxes wakanunua hizo shares huko Safaricom. Where are they in a hurry to sell everything? Sio misitu zetu, sio natural resources zetu, sio nini Safaricom shares, sio airport walikuwa wanataka kuuza, sio Kenya pipeline, sio nini, kila kitu wanataka kuuza. Why? Ni tamama ni nini? By the time we are waking up, tujishike masikio. By the time we are waking up, tutakuta imemalizwa juu ya tamaa ya watu kidogo. Na hakuna public participation, which is an ingredient of the new constitution. Wacha ni tamaa mingi. Hii kitu someone needs to investigate. Nini zinauzwa huko chini? Ina hari sana. Tujishikeni masikio wa Kenya. Hatukai vizuri penye tuko.
It hits hard when you realize who owns Safaricom. Let me show you. So what you're looking at is the list of the shareholders, starting with, of course, the major shareholder, who is Vodafone Group PLC. Next to each shareholder's name is the country where they are from. And as you can see from this, an entire 40% of the tech giant that we all rely on, called Safaricom, is owned by a foreign multinational. And this can denote different things. Of course, the second shareholder is the government of Kenya. But for a foreign investor to be the person who owns majority of the shares of a country, the majority of the shares of such an important tech company in a region, then it means several things. On the positive side, of course, the foreign direct investment and the taxes that they contribute to our economy and the job creation that they've contributed to. Of course, you get better services because they come in with high tech and management skills and capital market strength that they give us courtesy of how Safaricom performs well in NSE and all that. That is good. But the thing I want to talk about, and those are the three things that I'd like to mention on, is when they pay dividends and the reduced level of local people control, and also the impact on USD. So when Safaricom pays out dividends, majority of these dividends, of course, will go to the foreign owners who are the majority shareholders. So this means that we have lost a lot of money that has just been siphoned out of our economy to go into another economy of another country. That's the first disadvantage. The second disadvantage is that since majority of the shares are owned by an external party, the decision making of this company will go to benefit its shareholders and its majority shareholders for that matter. So it leaves the local people with very little influence over the decisions that such a company makes, in as much as it has so much impact in that country and in the lives of the citizens. And thirdly, every time they pay out dividends, of course, the majority shareholder will want to convert the dividends from Kenya shillings to USD. So every time dividends are issued for Safaricom, we normally experience the Kenyan shilling depreciating because there's a high demand for USD because they are converting into USD to take the money back to their country, isn't it? Yes. So now, where does this leave Kenyans? Of course, Safaricom is a tech giant and it plays a pivotal role in the Kenyan economy, and it adds a lot of positivity and a lot of efficiency even in our daily lives. But then there's also the flip side of the way it impacts our very daily lives, and especially in terms of data privacy and of course financial inclusion. But what do you think?
We'll take our shareholding to just under 55% because we're also buying the Vodafone stake as well. It stands out as not just a standout company in Kenya, but in and not just in the East African community, but I would say globally. So fantastic company, fantastic development capabilities and so on that we can also export.
Government assets exist to make money for the government. They do not exist as jewels. Government stake, for example, in Safaricom is more than or going to 300 billion Kenya shillings. It was more before.
I want to sell the shares of Safaricom.
So Gava imeamua kuuza 15% of its stake in Safaricom na watauzia Vodafone Kenya. So Vodafone Kenya will own 55% of Safaricom. And Vodafone Kenya is owned by Vodacom. So basically, Safaricom majority shareholder will be a country from outside. na hizi ni 6 billion shares valued at 34 shillings per share. We are talking about 204 billion shillings yenye government ita receive from this transaction. On top of the 204 billion, bado watalipwa dividends in advance. So government is going to get a lot of money from this transaction. Do you support this deal? Ama unaona hapa kuna mchezo inachezwa?
Safaricom, how does it feel? 24 million new subscribers into Airtel in the first quarter of the year. Wow, we quarter. Hata si half. I am here to promote Airtel for free. From the deepest portal of my heart and the depth of my soul and spirit, how much I hate Safaricom. Is Adil still the chairperson, that friend to Adani? Did I mention I hate Safcom? I just hate Safcom. I hate them so much. The things Safcom are tied to. Honestly, I feel like M-Pesa has people on a chokehold. Otherwise, I feel like Airtel would have had even bigger numbers. I'm happy for Airtel. You guys really do have fair pricing and things like that. Even your bundles are really, really fair. So, Mondele Ivyo. Best news I've had in regards to Safcom. Oh my gosh, this is good news. Failure!
Those of you who sank your money buying Safaricom shares because you were gassed up by the corrupt mainstream media. You are told, hey, Safaricom is the next big thing, blah, blah, blah. And then you bought shares. See your life now. See your life. And this is a company on its way down because we are exiting. Like, you have a Safaricom line, you know that's where the police will get you. They start tracking you on a Safaricom line. Yeah? You have what is expensive to use. Their mobile data is super expensive. Yeah, I don't even know how people still use it. Why you are still, you're stuck in an abusive relationship. So see your life. There is no difference between you, if you own Safaricom shares, and those guys who are buying, let's say, the plots, those hot air plots. Ile plot moja mnauziwa watu kama 10. There's no difference between you guys because you guys are munafuata upepo. You just go with the wind. Whatever comes, you're ready to spend your money on, as long as it's advertised on the mainstream media. You really don't think. And then now some people are saying, oh, this is the best time to buy Safaricom. Buy! Keep wasting your money. You will reap what you sow. This is what happens when you allow a company to be infiltrated by government. This is the work of Uhuru and now spilling over to the next government.
CS Mbadi, don't fool us.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na hali ya nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile, ama niko high, jua life.